Doing, Ken? How's everything
Doing
going?
good, man. Doing good. Feeling blessed. Good to be on
That's
here with you,
awesome.
brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, dude. So, me and the team over at Overcomer Academy, we wanted to invite you to a video so we can actually put you on our YouTube. We wanted to talk to you, man, and just kind of talk about some of the success you've had, some of the failures you've had, some of the stuff that's just kind of going on with you, man. You were one of my first coaching clients that got started
Hmm.
with Overcomer Academy, and you've been one of the most motivated, and you've made some of the most interesting things happen so far. Why don't you just give me a little breakdown of kind of like where you were at, before you met me, what you were kind of
Hmm.
doing, what you were up to, and what you're kind of up to now, and just kind of give me a little background on you so we can share that.
Yeah. I want to start this off by saying thank you, John. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for you and Overcomer Academy. I really don't feel like if I didn't meet you, man, I wouldn't be in this position of success that I'm in. So, I mean, first off, thanks to you, brother. My
Thanks, bro.
beginnings, yeah, you're welcome, man. My beginnings, man. Before we met, I was, traditional window cleaner. My father started his own company. We do residential mainly through the summer. So, I mean, if I wasn't cleaning windows, I was either, working at a restaurant, making pizzas or something like that. So to be able to do that, and then now where I am, it's just a huge jump. So the storyline goes like that, you know, doing traditional window clean, residential, making anywhere from 2 grand, maybe even less than that, less than 2 grand a month. And, you know, I was going through the media one day, came across you, and I knew you're just a genuine person because, I saw you helping out somebody, and I was like, who's this guy? He's in the service business like me. What kind of success does he have? I want to touch bases with him. I want to, get on his frequency pretty much. So, we talked, and I knew it was going to be success from there out, man. And
Sorry to
now,
interrupt you,
yeah,
but it's funny that you mentioned that, because the way that you found me on Instagram, it was a picture, I think, that I was praying for somebody.
yeah, man,
That me
yeah.
and me and me and Ian actually ran into this gentleman. He was in front of the 99-cent store. He
Mhm.
was asking for money from people to help him out with his sober living home, because he was trying to get his life back in order, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because that gentleman actually started working for my company yesterday.
Really? That's
Yeah,
crazy. Wow.
yeah. I was
Wow,
actually
man.
hanging out with him all day today. He's his first day on the job, and
Wow.
he's a great guy, man. And I knew when me and Ian ran into him that I offered him a job at that moment, and that was probably
Hmm.
like 4 or 5 months ago. But I knew he was gonna work for us in the end. So it's just funny. It was just a little thing that just was
Yeah,
top of
yeah.
mind that you mentioned that. So,
Yeah, man. So
anyways,
I mean, that's where I found you. We connected uh, instantly. I just thought you were a genuine person. It just seemed like you wanted to help me, and I was in a position where I really needed some help. I just really needed guidance on, moving further in business because I didn't want to go back to, cleaning 2 to 3 houses a day, or maybe 1 to 2 houses a day, you know, coming home with, I don't know, $150. And that's on a good day. There'd be days where I wouldn't make any money just because there isn't no jobs, or I'm cleaning storefronts for 20, $25 a pop, you know?
mm.
So,
And what were you doing exactly, Ken? You were doing window cleaning and pressure washing
yeah, yeah.
services.
So I was doing window cleaning, solar panel cleaning, pressure washing, gutter cleaning, which was kind of seasonal. So, just the typical, window cleaner kind of business.
Sure.
Mm,
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I remember when I first met you, you were definitely in the residential industry, and you
mm,
still are, and I think we're gonna probably see some of that coming up here in the next few months, maybe potentially, if you want to take advantage of some of the crisis that's going on right now.
yeah. Mm.
But so tell me what this whole deal with you working with Overcomer Academy, and you started working with me. I would say, when did you start? What was the month?
It was
Was it
October. No, it
October
was, I think it might have been November of, it was November of
last year?
2019. Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's see. It's about a half a year ago, man.
Yeah, about 6 months now.
Yeah.
And we started working together where I was starting to show you how to get into like large commercial
Yeah.
projects, like hotel facilities and multifamily and stuff of that nature, right? And unfortunately, you started at a weird time. It was the
Mhm.
winter time,
Yeah.
and you had you got lots of appointments, is what it seemed like. Lots and lots of appointments is that what you were
Mhm.
getting, but because of the season, we found out that that wasn't going to do too well probably until March, and now we get hit with COVID-19, and the whole world's falling apart,
Mhm.
and hotels took a huge smack, and there's really no business there anymore for right now, right?
Yeah.
Temporarily, there's been some changes. And so what you did and what you decided to do, I think this was back in February, um, we took a different direction, a different route, because that's one of the other areas of expertise that I kind of work with in the construction business. Tell me kind of what motivated you to get started in the construction industry, and tell some of the viewers like what you're doing in the construction industry now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to start off with just going back to that window cleaning thing, man. In my mind, you have two options. You can either settle for, doing the residential jobs, or you can take the risk. And that's what it's all about right now, is taking that risk to expand your mind, get a bigger idea. And who cares if you fail? Just try it, man. Just try to set up an appointment. Just try to talk to somebody. It's just about taking that risk. And really, that's what I did. You gave me the know-how, you gave me the directions, and from that point on, it was either, am I going to take this risk, or am I going to put this all aside and just settle for what I have already? So
Mm.
that's what it's all about, man. And I took the risk immediately. Like you said, it was wintertime, but just because it was wintertime does not mean that I wasn't getting appointments. I was booking all kinds of different meetings with hotel managers and office managers, to get their windows clean. Not in that season, raining and snowing and all that, but you know,
A little bit tough during that
yeah,
time.
exactly. And then unfortunately, right as we moved into the new year, this COVID thing came about, and that even, shoved it down even farther. So, like you were saying, uh, another example of how I took the risk, I took what you said, like, what you taught me. And in my local area, there was, a small construction site. And, weeks would go by, I'd pass by it like, maybe they need their windows cleaned, maybe something like that. But I would just put it aside and just think, what, it's not even, it's too big for me. Why should I even put myself in that position when I don't even feel like I can do this kind of work? And
Mm.
you know what? I put that aside and I took the risk. I went down there one day, knocked on that trailer door. Nobody there. Nobody was there. I could have just easily walked away. But there was a little sign on the side, had a number, had all the contact info, called the guy up. Next thing you know, I got an appointment the very next week. Hey, come on down next week. Let's take a walk around the construction site, and give me some numbers and what kind of work you're going to do, and let's make a deal. So that was back in February. Now here we are, April, got a construction contract, and that's what's going to keep me going without having to do window cleaning. That's what's keeping me surviving through this, this COVID-19 thing.
This shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
So back in February, it sounds like you met someone, and so because the whole the window cleaning deal with some of the larger contracts and stuff like that were kind of tough because of the season, but you were getting tons of appointments, and a lot of those appointments were about to steam over into the March, April time.
Yeah.
But we got hit with COVID-19 and this was just unforeseen. So what we did is we pivoted, and you went after a construction site is what happened. And because that's the other part of our business that we kind of teach and stuff, but we were kind of putting that on the back burner. We were like, hey, let's just focus on windows. And you end up getting a contract. And tell me about that contract, man, and what it entails and money and all that good stuff.
Well, I gotta start with the money, man. Struggling with the window thing is kind of an understatement. I mean, through that whole winter, I had 0 window cleaning jobs. I was, struggling to even get gutter cleaning jobs and just making it by that. So you say struggle, I take that as an understatement, man. I was barely trying to get by. As far as money, I was going from, let's say $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Now I'm over here on a construction site making anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month, man. And that's a guaranteed paycheck there.
And how much was that contract that you closed?
It was about $86,000.
$86,000.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Congrats, bro. That's really, really cool. I mean,
Thank you.
Even though you're not getting the $86,000 up front, it's not like, here you go, here's $86,000, right? It sounds like you got a residual paycheck right now that's anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month that you're going to be getting over the next, whatever that comes out to. Maybe with that 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, that's like over the next 12 months, you should be collecting anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. So you guaranteed yourself with that contract, $86,000 a month. $86,000 overall is the contract value, and you're going to be getting $4,000 to $6,000 a month guaranteed from this contract. How does that make you feel, man?
I can't explain it, man. I can't explain it. It's just, I'm 20 years old. A year ago, I was making maybe $10,000 a year if I really tried. It's unexplainable, man. It's just a huge blessing, man. It's just a huge blessing. It's just a huge life change for me. And like I said in the beginning, man, it wouldn't have happened unless I met you. So thank you, brother.
Hey, man, you deserve all the respect here, bro, because you put in the work, man. I've worked with several people that, they didn't put in the action, and you chose to go even further than what I guided you to do. And you broke open some doors, man, that really, really has helped you. And it sounds like you're starting to bid on some more projects now, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. These construction sites, it's just the season right now. It's definitely the season. It might even be the year. 2020, new decade. Projects are everywhere, man. They're building on every corner of every street, man. That's how it is now. so yeah, I'm definitely.
Sorry, what happens if you can like double up, right? I mean, if you can get another one of these contracts that's like 80 to 100 grand and get another $4,000 to $6,000 a month, I mean, what does that do for your business?
What does that do for my business?
I guess what I'm really asking is like, where do we go from here, man? You got a contract that's $4,000 to $6,000 a month, right? Before you were making $2,000 a month in the residential window cleaning industry. You closed the $80,000 contract. Now you're getting about $4,000 to $6,000 a month, depending on the month, because it sounds like there's a lot of extra work that they give you there too, and you're getting all this extra stuff, right? Where do we go from here? What's your mission now, man? Where are you thinking? Where's your goals at now?
My mission right now is just to get more contracts, really, just to get more contracts, and not only get more contracts, but my whole goal is to really help people out that are in need. I've never been in the position to be able to bless somebody with a job. And now I have that opportunity to. Now I
Oh,
have the
okay.
opportunity to give somebody a job who's in need or is struggling, just trying to get by. And on top of that, with the whole coronavirus thing, people are losing jobs like crazy. So now I think I have an opportunity to give back to the community, or so to say, or just give back to people, and provide them with a job, really. And that's just part of it. Another big part is really supporting my family. That's always been the big thing, is making sure my family is good. I I didn't grow up with very much. Struggle a lot as a kid. Financially, parents didn't really come through a lot. With the finances, and had a pretty struggling childhood. But now my life has changed, man, and this is only the beginning. This is just the beginning, man. It's all started 6 months ago, and now I'm here.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, man, I think you've been doing a good job. You've been figuring out how to play this game. It's a tough game. I mean, you're going from residential to large commercial. I want to ask you these next few questions on
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, where your head was at when you were going through with all this, because I think, and I believe, and I know for myself personally, when I first built my company, building Sunclean, and we're starting to get into large commercial contracts, and we started getting away from the residential. The scariest part for me is I didn't have the resources that I thought I did. I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
money. I didn't have employees. I didn't have equipment. I didn't have any of that stuff. And I think what a lot of people think is, like, right before they're about to get, like, I mean, we're talking about these construction projects that it doesn't matter if you're a window cleaner, a painter, a framer,
Mm-hmm.
you can be anyone for one of these construction projects.
Yeah.
You happen to be a construction cleanup guy, kind of like me, and you're entering this whole new world. It's like 80 freaking condos. How many condos are there?
182.
Oh, 182. So this is
Yeah,
a really
man.
big
It's
job.
a big project.
And
big
so
project.
you got 182 condominiums that you're going to be fully in charge of cleaning, right? And you've already been tackling it lately, and you've been having success. And so I think what a lot of people want to know is, how did you feel prior to you getting into some large commercial contracts? Like, how did you feel as far as confidence wise that you're going to be able to handle it? You're going to have the
Mm-hmm.
money to be able to back it up. You're going to have the people to be able to back it up. How did you feel prior? And then I want to know how you feel now about it, because now you're doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got to be honest with you, man. When, before I even got this contract, and when we were in the process of, getting ready to receive a contract, I was nervous, man. I was scared, because just kind of like in your situation, I didn't have any of the equipment. I didn't have any of the, the money to really support myself. I was really stretching out on a limb, So yeah, man, I was nervous. I was just wondering, how am I going to get this done? Am I going to do a good job? I've never done this before. Are they going to like me? Are they going to like my service that I provide? How am I going to get all 182 done, without any employees? So, yeah, man, I was nervous about this, but, I always like to go back to just saying, just take the risk, really, because that's what I did. I didn't have any money, I had no equipment, and I just took the risk. I opened that door and I walked through, and then I figured it out. I didn't really have too much of a big plan. I just got my foot in the door, and I figured it out from there. I wasn't gonna give up. I was just gonna, whatever got thrown at me, whatever is gonna get thrown at me, whether it be, equipment that I need or more manpower that I need, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not gonna give up, and that's exactly what I did. So now where I am now,
Yeah, how do you feel about it now? Because it sounds like you were really scared. I mean, you didn't know if you were going to be able to do the project, which I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are in the same boat, right? I mean,
Hmm.
hence the reason why most people won't take on a big project is
Hmm.
because they think they're not going to be able to handle it, and they have every right so, because it's no cakewalk jumping into one of these projects. You're talking 45 days out to your first
Yeah.
payment. I mean, there's a lot of commitments involved to get the ball rolling. But now that you're coming up and you're about to get your first paycheck and you're getting the momentum going, how do you feel now about
I feel unstoppable, really. You know, I feel like all the problems that I dealt with now, that I dealt with in the beginning, it's been overcame. Now all I got to focus on is just continuing to do what I do. You know, like you
it? Do
said,
you feel like you can handle it now, though? You feel pretty confident? You're like, I can do the work. I'm able to do the work. You were able to kind of get in there on your own and figure it out. I
mhm,
think you brought in a part-time employee to help you out with a few things, but you
yeah.
feel pretty confident now you're able to do it?
Well, let me put it like this. I feel confident enough to hire guys to do the job, and
Mm,
now I'm ready to go out and get more work. You know, now I'm confident enough to try to get as much work as I can, and I have the process down. So once the process is set, now it's just routine work, man. You just
yeah.
it's just moving on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, man. And that's all it is to me. My confidence is definitely boosted because of this project. Really, now I have the confidence to, walk into a new site, or go meet a head official, and you know tell them what my service is, and I'm confident enough to say, hey, I'm going to provide you the best service at the best value because I know what I'm doing and I've already tackled all the problems that I began with. So nothing's going to stop me.
Mm. Good stuff, man. I mean, that's really, really good, because I think a lot of people are struggling with this, Ken. And, you know, even myself, it was hard. I had to
Yeah.
commit first, figure it out later. Not knowing how much money I was going to have to be able to tackle a project like that. You almost feel like an imposter when you first set everything up, because you're like, man, this project's so big. Like, how are they trusting me to do a
Yeah. Yeah.
$80,000 job? And
Yeah.
you,
Exactly.
you feel like,
I felt
what the
like
heck
that.
am I
Yeah.
doing?
I felt
Yeah.
exactly like that, man. I felt like I was the black sheep, the one that stuck out like a sore thumb. Didn't people? I felt like people were looking at me like he doesn't know what he's doing, or what is this kid doing on this site? Hopefully he doesn't mess things up or anything like that, man. And like I said, now I'm here. I'm just there to get the job done with confidence in my work and with my service, and it's just clockwork now, man. It's on to the next.
So what would be some of your advice if somebody is going to join our academy, or they're going to try to go get into large commercial contracts for themselves, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're facing it. They're like, hey, I'm going to do this with or without you. Either way, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting some value out of this video they're watching right now. From a fresh perspective of somebody that's just jumping into it, and you're getting everything going, what would be your advice to them getting started with the large commercial contracts, large construction contracts?
My advice, is pretty simple, man. It's very simple. You got to be willing to take the risk. You got to be willing to be 100% in, and all those thoughts of doubt, you got to get that out of here. There got to be a no vacancy sign right here at all times. Nothing can get in there that's doubtful, or that's going to put you down, or that's going to take away your confidence. You got to be 100% in this thing, and you just got to keep going, really. If you have the opportunity, I'm trying to tell this to anybody out there, if you have the opportunity to join John, right in this season, you better take that opportunity, because there is going to be nothing but success that comes from it. And I'm a living proof. It only took me 6 months to get to where I am, and thanks to you, John, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it.
That's awesome, dude. I got like one or two more questions for you, man. And
Yeah, of course.
first
Yeah.
one is I think how did you feel prior to meeting me and like that first conversation we had on the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel prior to signing up with our program? Like what feelings did you feel and what were you kind of thinking and what was going through your mind?
Honestly, man, before I signed up with you, I was like, I gotta find a job. That's honestly, man, I was thinking, I gotta find a job. I gotta figure something out. Maybe I gotta go work at my pizza place, or maybe I gotta go work at a retail store because I
Yeah.
gotta get by somehow. So that's what my thinking was. I was like, this window cleaning thing it's as much as I'm putting into it, it's just not enough. And I knew that it wasn't enough for the future to keep going on like that. I had to make a change at that point. So yeah, man, before I signed up with you, before we got to business, before we got to work, I was just questioning where my future was going. Really, I was really, really questioning whether I should still be in the industry, whether I should just opt out and go get a day job or something like that. I was very confused on what I should be doing, and that's only because my mind wasn't open to the opportunities that you showed me that are out there. And like I said, man, if I never got connected with you, I wouldn't have known how to go out there and get big commercial contracts, or how to go out there and get, these large construction contracts. I wouldn't know how, and I wouldn't have even known that they existed, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome, man. And what doubts did you have like before joining the academy when we were talking and we were talking about all the stuff that I can offer and all that good stuff? What was going through your head? What were some of the doubts you were
Uh, some of the doubts I was having would probably be, man, I don't know how this guy's, I don't know how this guy's program is set up. Is it really all that it is set up to be? Am I going to really, get my value from the program? And the answer was yes. The answer was I got way more value than I could ever imagine. I mean, if you want to put it on a scale, I don't know, 100 times more value if we're talking about money here. Yeah, man.
Awesome. That was a great answer. Last question, and we'll kind of wrap it up here. What has been the number one thing that you've gotten from me or my program? What has been the number one thing, man, that you're like, dude, this is what I stole from John. This is what I took from the academy. I mean, obviously, you're getting large commercial contracts now. That's working in your favor, and you have that skill set. But, like, what's the number one thing, man, that you really feel that you kind of stole from me and you just got?
That's a good question, man. I don't know, man. I kind of got your swag. I kind of got your confidence to be able to just to be able to go out there and just and be successful, and just know I'm going to be successful. Because the whole time I was going through the academy, I was thinking, you know what? If John can do it, I can definitely do it. So I took your drive, took your confidence, took your swag, whatever you want to call it, man. Whatever vibe you're giving off, I just absorbed it, and I just set out there to follow in the same footsteps, really.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I think what you've kind of taken is like you're thinking bigger now. I mean, you're thinking like, man, I can take on these big construction projects. Whereas before, I think we all kind of self-limiting beliefs on ourselves that kind of tell ourselves, I don't think I can do that. I don't think that this is something that I can actually handle. I don't think that's for me,
Yeah, exactly.
And you're a perfect example, man. I mean, you went out there, You did the program. You did what was told, and now you're getting that much closer to winning in the direction that you want to go.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
I
and
mean,
so
I would say I'm already winning, man. I'd say I'm already winning. You know, just
that's good.
just having that knowledge, I'm already winning. You know.
Financially winning, mentally winning.
Yeah.
You're on the
definitely.
right. You're on the right track, is what it sounds like.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
So actually, before we wrap it up, because we're during this pandemic right now, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and everyone's being shut down, and businesses are going out of business and everything else. The construction industry as a whole, doing not just residential, but working with these large private companies, and potentially we'll start getting into government contracts as well. How do you feel your security is right now with this whole COVID-19 thing going on? How do you feel about that?
Well, I got to put it like this. I feel very secure, and it's just a huge blessing that during this pandemic, during all the chaos that's going on right now, people losing jobs, people struggling right now. Me and you, I mean, you understand this. We're both very, very fortunate to, still be on construction sites. Construction sites, as far as I know, they're not closing down anytime soon. There's
been some rumors, but
yeah, I mean,
it's essential.
Been some rumors, but for the most part, it's essential for the communities that we live in. It's just a huge blessing that we get to still do what we get to do, and we get to still make that big money. While a lot of people unfortunately are taking a huge hit right now. So you were asking me about my security. I feel very secure. It's happened to where a lot of my family, they've lost they've lost a lot of their jobs too, and fortunately I'm able to keep going, and that, just like I talked about earlier, it's just a huge opportunity to put some people to work that really need it.
That's great, man. And how long is your financials right now? Is it ahead right now with this whole contract thing? I mean, even just up to date, even if you didn't do any more work from this day forward, how much money do you have to be able to live from today? Do you think you can be able to last? If everything got shut down tomorrow, how much money do you think, for how long do you think you could last?
I could last. I think I can last until the end of this pandemic. Really, I definitely.
Maybe
I think
3 or 4 months or something like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. I definitely be able to to stay, survive, and potentially thrive. Thanks to construction, really.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, we're very, very fortunate to be able to do what we get to do, and to not get shut down, and to face the hardships really that a lot of people are facing, because we're making good money, and we're staying in business through all the chaos.
That's awesome, man. So Ken, where can our community find you, dude, if they want to look you up and kind of see what you're up to and kind of what you've been doing with your business, or just hit you up?
You can. I got a website. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. I don't have a personal account, but I do have my business has accounts. I mean, you can always contact them, and I'll take a look. But I'm from the Bay Area, California, and my company is AC's Window Cleaning. That's capital ACS and then window cleaning. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and I believe acswindowcleaning.org is my website.
Was that one of your Instagram handle is ACS Window Cleaning?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, we're gonna let you go, man, and we'll be talking more here soon. But keep up the good work, because you're getting the ball rolling, you're getting momentum. pandemic or not, dude, you know, things are going full force for you right
Yeah.
now, and it's just going to get better for you.